Welcome, welcome, welcome to the presentation called How to Create Offers So Good People Would Feel Stupid Saying No. Because I believe that the right marketing strategy will save you a decade, and understanding these skills will help you change your life. So, number one is we're going to be covering what is an offer. We're going to talk about the difference between value and commodity pricing. We're going to help you understand what a lifetime value, an LTV, is. We're going to teach you the 4 considerations to pick a good target market. We're going to cover the 3 levers on success. We're going to teach you 100x more riches in the niches and why you go, if you don't pick your niches, you're going to get stitches. We're going to talk about being the most expensive and how that works and how that can help you. We're going to talk about 3 ways to grow your business. We're going to talk about the vicious cycle of price. We're going to get into value perception and how value perception is reality. We're going to give you the value formula of dream plus likelihood minus time minus effort. So you get the perfect formula for creating your irresistible offer. And if we can get through all this today, we are going to do amazing and we're going to be so happy. Now, I would love to also get through logical versus psychological solutions, divergent thinking versus conversion thinking. I'd love to also cover problem solution lists, product delivery cheat codes, stacking value and trimming profit, high value deliverable, scarcity offer enhancing, urgency, guarantee, bonus, naming. I don't think we're going to cover everything in an hour, but we're definitely going to be able to cover this stuff in an hour. And so if you guys are excited, write excited in the chat or in the comments or wherever you're seeing this, because this is going to be such a value-packed presentation. It's so hard to read a book and to go through a book, but to listen to this presentation is just going to be so much fun and so exciting. So I'm excited that you guys are here and that you're with me. So what is an offer? Let's start with that. An offer initiates the exchange of trading dollars for value. If you do not add value, you do not have an offer. There are 2 problems: not enough clients, not enough cash. If you want to catch a fish, you need bait, and your offer is your bait. I think it was Dale Carnegie said that if you want to catch fish, don't put strawberries in the water because fish don't want to eat strawberries. What do fish want to eat? In the chat, tell me, what do fish want to eat? You have to understand who your clients are in order to know who your fish are. And if you do not change what you're doing, change what you're presenting that you are doing. Okay? You don't have to change what you're doing. You need to change what you are presenting to what you are doing. And we're going to get much more into that. So if you want to catch fish and your fish don't like strawberries, you got to give them what they like, and that is your offer. Not what you're doing, but what you're offering. And an offer initiates the exchange of trading dollars for value. That's the idea. So people need to get an ROI. They need to understand that they're getting value. I once read that there are 3 things people want in business. People either want to make money, they want to save money, or they want to eliminate risk. Those are the 3 things people want in business: make money, save money, or eliminate risk, depending on the life cycle of where the business are. If they're a startup, they're mid-size, or they're a large enterprise, they would want different things. A large enterprise is more interested in eliminating risk. But a small, tiny little business doesn't care about risk. They care about making money because they don't have enough money, right? So depending on who you're targeting, you would have a different offer and a different value to that target. By the way, guys, are you targeting small businesses, startups? Are you targeting mid-size? Are you targeting large enterprises? Let me know in the chat. Who would you rather work with? Some people feel much more comfortable working with startups and entrepreneurs. Some people would rather work with large enterprises like Facebook and Microsoft and Apple. Who would you like to work with? Value versus commodity. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather be a value-driven entrepreneur or a price-driven entrepreneur? Are you the 99-cent store, or are you the one that you don't care? You don't want people to care what your price is. You want people to know that when they're going to you, they're getting super value. Commodity is all based on price, and there's always someone bigger that can lose more money than you, that can charge less than you. Think about that. There are people that are giving away iPhones for free. So you're going to go compete with Apple that are giving away iPhones for free, or they're giving you $1,000 to get an iPhone. Instead, what you want to do is, instead of competing, they compete with value. Being a value-based instead of price-based, making value-based first and price-based secondary, people are going to be willing to pay what you're worth so you can actually make a profit. You're in business to make a profit, not just to get customers. When I started my business, Ajax Union, I wasn't thinking about profit. But as I grew the business, I wasn't able to sustain the growth of the business because my business wasn't profitable. So I had to figure out a way to be more value based versus price based. In the beginning, I was like, it's $5.99, you get unlimited marketing and blah, 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 blah. And people would sign up and they would suck the life out of us, and we weren't able to turn a profit until we just realized this concept called value based, not price based. Now I charge $5,597 for a LinkedIn strategy, and people pay it. And the reason people pay it is because the value, the perception of value, and the actual value. Pricing for outcome will help you price for the value of the offer versus what the market is charging. So when you price, don't price, oh, I'm going to do a blog post, I'll charge you $100. No. Say, I'm going to help you be able to generate $1 million in your business. And for that, I'm only going to charge you $5,000. Do you get the difference between I'm going to charge you $100 for the blog post or for spending an hour versus the value that you're going to get? Add 100 times more value than what you charge and charge 100 times of what it costs you. That's the goal. So if it costs you $1, charge $100, but give $1,000 worth of value. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, put $1 in the chat. Give $10,000 worth of value, charge $100, but it'll cost you $1. That's the ideal. That's how you make real money. That's how you have real leverage. So you need to be thinking of value versus commodity if you want to be successful. Now, I have a question for those of you in the chat. Would you rather be a value-based entrepreneur, write value, or would you rather be a price-based entrepreneur, press price? There's a difference. Some people will just want to be price-based. They want to be a commodity. And you know what? That works in certain industries. But if you're in the service industry, you're never going to be able to service people for less than what they're servicing people in some countries. You get what I'm saying? Where they're charging $2 an hour to do whatever. You want to be able to be value-based. That's my opinion if you're in the service world. And even if you're in product world, you don't want to be on the bottom. And the reason you don't want to be on the bottom is because you need to think of things in terms of gross profit. So let's take numbers down. Some of you understand numbers. I know when I started my business, I didn't understand any of this. So some of you are brand new to business and you may not understand LTV, lifetime value. LTV is the lifetime value of what a customer is worth to your business. So this is something that you need to explain to your customers sometimes, especially if you're working with startups and entrepreneurs, or even if you're working with SMBs. Sometimes you need to get to know their business a little bit and understand what is the difference between gross profit, net profit, and lifetime value. Gross profit is how much money is left after you spend direct expenses to servicing a client. So for example, if you have a marketing agency like me and you have direct costs associated to getting a client. So for example, maybe it costs me 60% to service a client or 70% to service a client directly. So when I get a new client, they pay me $1,000. It costs me $700 to service that client. That $700 goes straight to the employee. I get the $300. But when I get the $300, I don't keep the $300. What I need to do is also spend it on fixed expenses like office, like rent, like taxes, like whatever. So that's net profit is after I spend all my fixed expenses, maybe I'll spend $200 on fixed expenses. I have $100 left. That is my net profit after all the expenses of my business. So if I make $100,000 a year, $70,000 goes to my cost of goods sold, the actual product, the actual people, the actual expenses related to that client. And then the rest of my expenses are related to my business. And then whatever's left, that's my net profit. Okay, so you have to understand your gross profit, your net profit, and your lifetime value is the total that a client brings in after you deduct the gross profit over a 1-year period of time. So if a client is spending $1,000 a month with you, that's $12,000 a year. If it costs you 50% to service that client, so you're only making $6,000 lifetime value on that customer. Do you understand that? So you have to understand your LTV to understand your pricing, to understand the value of what you're giving a customer. And if you get your numbers correct, you'll be able to be successful in your business because numbers don't lie. A lot of people get into business and they're like, don't worry about the numbers. Let's just get clients right now. But you really have to think about the numbers, and you want to get into a business where your LTV is big enough that it's worth it for you to get on the phone. Like I was saying last time we were talking at our business mastermind, I said that if you can't make $1,000 profit off a client, it's probably not worth it getting on the phone with them. If you can't make $1,000 on a client, don't get on the phone with them because what? You're going to make 50 cents on the client? That just makes no sense. You got to be able to be more successful with a client and make a certain amount of money. By the way, what is your ideal LTV for a client? What is your ideal lifetime value for a client for you in the business that you're in right now? With Ajax Union, my marketing agency, my ideal client pays me $15,000 a month. So if I want clients that pay me $15,000 a month over the course of the year, that's $180,000. If my cost of goods sold is 70% on that, that goes to my employees. So I shave off 70% on the 180,000, then what am I left off with? Maybe I'm left off with, say, $36,000 or so, right? So if I'm left with $36,000, or maybe I'm left with $50,000, $54,000 on that money, that's my profit. That's my net profit on the client. That's my lifetime value is $50,000. So if I can make $50,000 on a client, would I pay $10,000 to acquire that customer? That's really the thought process, right? Would I pay $10,000 to get a client that pays me $180,000? Now, I certainly wouldn't pay $50,000, $60,000 for that client because that's all my net profit. What's the point of getting a client for the price if I'm not going to make enough net profit to cover it? This is how you even factor in what it should cost you to get clients with ads. You guys get what I'm saying? If you get it right, get it. This is a very important part of this presentation because if you're looking to acquire customers, you need to know what it's going to cost you to acquire each customer. You need to acquire them profitably. Otherwise, it's not even worth acquiring the customers. This is a huge, huge, huge part of getting and growing a business. This will also help you understand how to position your affiliate program. So, for example, for my business, Evie AI, I have a business called Evie AI. This is my business. It's a LinkedIn AI assistant. I have an affiliate program. I had to pick my affiliate program price that I would give people in the affiliate program. So if you go to the affiliate program, we have the ability for you to register, download assets, and then people like, how much money how does it work? How much commission do I get? And so there's a cost for me to be able to run and operate the business. And then I pick the commission amount based on me understanding my numbers. I don't just randomly pick a commission amount. You get what I'm saying? You have to understand how to be able to set up your affiliate program based on your numbers. So I know my numbers and I know how much I could afford to pay on a reoccurring basis for clients. So if somebody signs up to Evie AI and they pay $17, $17 to get access to unlimited posts, unlimited comments, and all that stuff, if you're an affiliate, you're going to get 20% on that, which makes me be able to pay my people to promote me. And that allows me to be able to make that part of my expenses directly to that customer. So if I get somebody that sends me an affiliate, that comes out of my gross profit, comes out of my lifetime value. Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. If it makes dollars, it makes sense. Moving on. Next, for consideration to picking a good target market. There are three major markets. Russell Brunson talks about it in his book called .com Secrets or Expert Secrets. There are three major markets: wealth, health, and relationships. In the chat, tell me, which market are you in? Are you helping people make money by investing, real estate, finance, sales? Are you helping people with health, diet, nutrition, strength training, weight loss? Are you helping people with relationships, love, marriage, networking, advice? Where are you? What area are you supporting people? So there's a major market, then there's a sub-market, and then there's a niche inside the sub-market. So what is your sub-market? So your major market is health. For example, Alexander, it's health. Within health, you maybe have fitness. And within fitness, it could be fitness for women that are just had their first baby. You get what I'm saying? That would be your niche. So there's your market, your sub-market, and your niche. And Alex Hermosi says that you got to pick one of these markets, sub-markets, and niches. And here are the four considerations when picking a good target market. Number one is you need to have a clear pain, something that people are desperately looking to solve. Number two is they need to have high purchasing power. They have to be able to afford your solution. Number three is they need to be easy to find and easy to target. Where are they? How easy it is to find them. And number three is the market has to be growing annually, expanding and constantly expanding. Help a unique market, solve a unique problem in a unique way, and you're going to be very rich. You guys get it? You have to be able to help a unique market, solve a unique problem in a unique way by following these 4 considerations to pick a good target market, which includes the pain has to be clear, they have to have the money, they have to make sure that you can easily find them, and you can grow the market annually. Is constantly growing. So, for example, Alexander said his niche is 50-year-old adults. Is it easy to find 50-year-old adults on LinkedIn? Probably. It's probably easy to find. You just check when they graduated college. Now you know everybody that's 50 years plus, and you can help those people and build a relationship with them. The more you can find that the pain is clear for the people and that the purchasing power is high and that it's easy to target and that the market is growing, not dying. Like, you don't want to be targeting people that have newspaper stands, right? Those people might be going out of business if newspapers don't work anymore. People are not buying newspapers, but you do want to be targeting people that maybe are in the AI space or that have something that's really, really growing and expanding. What area are you targeting? Do you guys have a niche? Go ahead and put your niche in the chat. I would love to see your niche because the riches are in the niches. Now, there are 3 levers of success. There's your market, your offer, and your persuasion skills. You can choose one of these levers and be really, really good at one of them. It'll make up for the other one. But what you want to do is you want to be able to leverage all the levers. You want to pick an amazing market. You want to pick an amazing offer to that amazing market. And you want to be really, really good at persuading people to take your offer. But if you have really good persuasion skills, you can have a shitty offer and a crappy market and still make it. If you have a great offer, you can have terrible persuasion skills and be a terrible market, and your offer is so good, people will not be able to say no. But if you have all 3 levers working with you, and if you get this now, write 3 in the chat. If you get this, put the word 3 in the chat. If you have all 3 levers working for you, if you have a bad offer and you're bad at persuasion, but you still have a great market, you're still going to be successful. Think about a hot dog stand. If you have a hot dog stand in your basement, you're probably not going to do very well. But if you show up at a Taylor Swift concert and everybody's starving, it doesn't matter if your hot dog isn't great. It doesn't matter if you're super expensive, and it doesn't matter if you're reserved, shy, and don't know how to persuade anybody. If you got the hot dogs, you're going to get the clients. If you're in the right place at the right time. You get what I'm saying? So a market is so important because great nullifies the bad. Of course, I'd love for you to have all 3. But if you could pick one of these, I would focus on the market more than anything because the riches are in the niches. And we're going to go deep into this. The riches are in the niches. Let me show you why. First of all, no one person can serve 2 masters. So if you're going to focus, where focus goes, energy flows. Tony Robbins said, where focus goes, energy flows. If you're just selling time management, it's $19 for the course. If you're selling time management for salespeople, that's $100 for the course. If you're selling time management for outbound B2B salespeople, it's $500 for the course. But if you're selling time management for outbound B2B power tools and gardening sales reps, which sell really, really big and expensive gardening tools, that's a $2,000 course. It's the same damn course, different offer to a different market. Wow. Write wow in the chat if this really shows you an example of niche product pricing based on a niche instead of based on just a general, very general thing. Like, this blew my mind. When I saw this diagram over here, I was like, damn, I got to show this to everybody. You got to commit to a niche, or you can get niche slapped. Would you like to get niche slapped? Come here. I'll slap you. I'll slap you if you like it. Just kidding. So what is an offer? An offer initiates the exchange of trading dollars for value. And people have 2 problems. Remember? Not enough clients, not enough cash. If you want to catch a fish, you need bait, and your offer is your bait. So don't change what you're doing. Change what you are presenting that you are doing. Okay? So I want you guys to think about it. It's 100 more riches in the niches, 100x more riches. Let's go back over here, just 2 steps. We're going to go back. So if you're thinking about your target market, now this comes to a whole nother circle. The pain has to be clear. The purchasing power has to be high. The people have to be easy to find. And the market has to be growing. Should I give you an example in my world? Should I give you an example in my world just to kind of show you how I picked my market? Give me a yes in the chat. Or you'll get niche slapped. Sophia wants to get in. Let's let Sophia in. So let me give you an example in the market that I'm targeting right now. So if I go on LinkedIn, most people in the world are not on LinkedIn. Most people in the world are not on LinkedIn. I'm not looking for people that are not on LinkedIn. Many of you are not on LinkedIn. I'm looking for people that are currently on LinkedIn and they're currently paying for LinkedIn. Okay, so I want people that are currently paying for LinkedIn. So, for example, this guy over here, Jay Bradley Gowarski. Okay, this guy, Jay Bradley Gowarski, he's paying for LinkedIn. I can see it right here. Is he easy to find? Is this financial advisor here easy to find? Yeah, he's right on LinkedIn. He has 11,000 followers on LinkedIn. Very, very easy to find. His pain is clear. I could see his pain from his page. He's not commenting. He doesn't have any engagement. I see that. You see that? He doesn't have any engagement on his posts. Zero. He posts, but nobody comments. I'm going to use my AI to leave a comment for him right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer him my AI for LinkedIn. And I'm going to say, are you looking for more engagement? I see you have 11,000 followers, but you don't really have engagement. Is that true? Am I right? Am I with you? And be like, oh, hell yeah, I need this. I need this tool. I need to get more engagement. I need my audience to know about Evie AI. But do you get what I'm saying? He's easy to find. He's right on LinkedIn. I can spot him right away. I see his pain by looking at the fact that I'm the only one commenting on his posts. I see where he's holding. He's easy to target. He has money. How do I know he has money? He's paying $100 a month for LinkedIn already. He has a gold icon. It's telling me, dude, the guy pays already. He has money. He's a successful guy. I see the company he works for. I see how many employees he has. I see he's desperately looking because he's posting on LinkedIn. He's just not getting engagement. And I know that market is growing annually because LinkedIn is expanding at 2 new members every second. They want to go from 1 billion to 3 billion members. More and more people are getting access to the internet. We're in a global economy. Most people around the world don't use LinkedIn yet. There's 1 billion people in LinkedIn. There's 8 billion in the world. So if I can capture just a handful of people to sign up to Evie AI every single day, I'm going to have a business that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. You guys get what I'm saying? I signed up a client that has 62 users. I'm looking for sales reps. As a matter of fact, I recently posted something just to give you guys an idea of why niches are so important. If you go to my profile, and this is something that a lot of people don't know, you can actually see all of somebody's posts on LinkedIn. So if I go down over here to where it says see all posts, I'll give you an example of this specifically for the niches. And I scroll down to the bottom over here where I have a picture of me running this morning in a path in nature. I said, who do you know that has a sales team and uses LinkedIn? I ask that question to my connections. Why? Because when it comes to referral marketing, professional networking, or business development, there's no better question than who do you know? Many people ask, oh, can you refer business to me? What? That's not helpful. Ask the right questions, get better results. Who do you know that? But if you don't know your niche, you're not going to be able to do that. And I gave 10 examples of who do you know. Here are 10 different examples. Who do you know that has Sales Navigator? Who do you know that uses LinkedIn a lot and has more than 1,000 followers? Who do you know that has a sales team with more than 10 people? Who do you know that's obsessed with AI? Who do you know that loves LinkedIn and advocates for LinkedIn all the time? Who do you know that has a gold badge on their profile? Who do you know that constantly is leaving comments on LinkedIn? Who do you know that is a networking connector and takes neat work? Do you guys get what I'm saying here? It's easy for me to identify the people that I'm looking for, and then I can promote that to my audience and be much more successful at getting leads. Because if you don't know who you know, if you don't know who you're looking for, you're not going to get there. So I'm giving you guys a very, very specific example. And by the way, comment on that post and say, and actually write your who do you know statement. Who do you know that's 50 years old for Alexander? Who do you know that's 50 plus and is a CEO of a company and is struggling with their weight? You guys get what I'm saying? Or somebody that cares about health, or somebody that committed to getting fit, or somebody that enjoys fitness, somebody that runs, whatever it is, however you identify your ideal target market. And so I shared with you guys the post so you can copy that and basically make the same post for yourself with your own 10 who do you know questions. If you guys like the who do you know, write who do you know in the chat. I'm curious to know if you guys like that who do you know strategy, because that was a game changer for me. When I meet with someone and I say, who do you know that is a sales trainer? All of a sudden they're like, oh, I know John. He's a sales trainer. Who do you know that's a sales trainer? Why do I want to meet sales trainers? Because sales trainers work with sales teams, and sales teams can sign up to Evie AI at 50 people at a time instead of one person at a time. Who do you know? Who do you know? Instead of, oh, can you refer business to me? What the hell? That's such a shitty question. Better question, better life. Moving on. All right. So Being the most expensive. Let's talk about this. Do you feel like you charge enough? I used to be afraid to charge more than $600 a month. I literally would shake at the thought of charging $15,000 a month. And then I closed a client that was $45,000 a month from networking because I said, who do you know that's a sales director at a company that's over 400 million in revenue? And the guy that I met for lunch said, I have a person for you. The guy that I met for breakfast. And I wrote about this in my book. I wrote a book called High Energy Networking. And in my book, I teach people how to network. And I talk about all my stories related to how I built my business to be on the Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing companies in America. And I decided I'm going to be the most expensive agency because there's no strategic value to being the second cheapest in the market, but there is to being the most expensive. There is to being the most expensive. There's a strategic objective. This is my book over here. I'm going to put a link to, somebody said put a link to the book. This is the book, and you can go to www.highenergy. Instead of me leaving a comment with a comment to my book, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Evie AI to write an AI comment with a link to my book, just like that. So check this out. It's going to actually put a link to Amazon. Boom. And I put a picture of the book right here in the comments. You see that? I just did that in the comments right here. And then I'm going to send you guys a link to the comment so you guys can see the comment and how I literally wrote the call to action with artificial intelligence right there with Evie AI. I'm just blown away. Okay, moving on. The more you charge, the more value your product has. Now you might say, hang on a second, Joe. How is it possible that my product has more value if I charge more? Can anyone guess why a product that costs more has more value? So I met somebody that had a comment generator tool and he only charged $5 a month. And he's like, why would people want to pay more than $5 a month? I said, no, I'm not charging $5 a month for my comment generator. I'm not charging $5 a month. I want to be the most expensive. So instead, I'm going to charge $35 a month. He's like, what the hell? No one's going to pay for it. No one's going to pay $35 a month. Well, I can tell you that I have 15,000 users and over 1,000 people that are interested in paying $34 a month. Now, of course, you get 50% off if you pay for the year, but I want to have the highest price. I don't want to be the lowest price. You can go get some crappy product, but the crappy product's going to have a terrible user experience. It's not going to work half the time. If you go look at the reviews of that $5 product, you're going to see they're going to be like, this is the biggest piece of shit I ever saw in my life because the developers can't afford to do anything. I can afford my development team. I have a full development team with 6 people working on making sure this app doesn't go down. And I can only do that because I charge what I charge. Now, if you charge nothing for your thing or you gave it away for free, then you're not going to be able to provide a high value product. When I charge $15,000, I can give you a lot of value for $15,000 a month for marketing, right? I can give you a ton of value. So automatically by me charging more, I'm able to give you the value. And so automatically my product has more value. And here's another reason. Perception is reality. Perception is reality. I wanted to get a Honda Pilot. I like the Honda Pilot. Anyone like a Honda Pilot here? I love Honda. Hondas always work. Some people say, Joe, get a Range Rover. You can afford a Range Rover. I was like, I don't care if I could afford a Range Rover. I like the Honda Pilot. I like how it looks. I like how it works. I've had a Honda Pilot many times, and I loved every aspect of the Honda Pilot. The problem was Honda Pilot was $900 a month during the pandemic, and I said, I'm not paying $900 a month for a Honda Pilot. But then the Acura MDX came out, and it was only $650 a month, and I know it's the same engine as the Honda Pilot, very similar to the Honda Pilot. It's made by Honda, it's just Acura. So I bought it. I decided I'm going to buy the Acura. It looks much more luxurious, but it's cheaper than a Pilot. So I'm just going to get it. And everyone's like, oh my God, you got the MDX? That's crazy. You're a Pilot guy. You got the MDX. Perception, it's the same car. It's basically the same car. Like, for example, a Lexus is basically a Toyota, right? It just has a slap on the Lexus thing and they charge more. Perception is reality. The key is not to offer, you don't really have to offer more value. What you really need to do is you need to give the perception of value. I really want you guys to get this. Write the word perception in the chat because I want you guys to get the idea of perception. Perception is value. Perception itself is value. Perception is value, not the oh, I'm going to give you so much. I'm going to give you. No. Give you perception. Because that is what reality is. I want to lay it out in a way, and that's why marketing is so important, because if you're charging too little, the perception of what you're giving is going to be low, so the person's not going to value it. People that pay attention. Write that down in your notes. People that pay more attention. And where attention goes, energy flows. And so if you want your customer to be more committed, you have to charge them more. So check this out. And this is called the vicious cycle of price. I'm going to get more into this, but I just want you guys to get this idea. It's so important to charge more. And you might be afraid. You'd be like, if I charge more, no one's going to want my services. Just the opposite. People that value your services more are going to want your services. Now, of course, there's a limit to what you can charge. You can't just charge $1 billion to a market that can only afford $1 million. You can only charge $100,000 to a market that can, you have to be within the realm. You can't just be completely way out there. But you can use the ask method, and you can ask customers the 4 questions related to the ask method of figuring out pricing. There's an actual method to figure out pricing where you ask the customers, how low will my price be, where you don't even value the product? Where is the price way too high that's out of your reach? Like you ask questions like that related to pricing, and then you can figure out by surveying your customers where the right price is. Where the right price is. That's really the idea. Pricing is really important, but perception will dictate what people believe in you, how they believe in you, and you can give the perception of value just by charging more. That's crazy. There were studies around this. There's a book called Influence that talks about this. There's many, many books that talk about how the perception of value. You walk into a store and suddenly you're like, that bag is $10,000. And then people want it because it's $10,000. You get what I'm saying? Not because the bag is any different. It's the same damn bag. The stone, the diamond. How did they make the diamond have so much value? How did they make the diamond have so much value? Does anyone know the story of the diamond and the Diamond is Forever campaign that they did? Diamonds are just a rock. It's a polished rock. You can polish a lot of rocks. You can polish gems. You can have cubic zirconias. Do you think that's why people are afraid to purchase, because it holds them accountable? 100%. If they're not committed, they're not going to pay. And if they're not committed, you don't want them as a customer. Would you rather have 10 customers paying you $10,000 each, or would you rather have 100 customers paying you $100 each? What would you rather? What type of customer do you want? Do you want the customer that pays $10K, or do you want the customer that pays $100? The customers that pay $100 are not going to expect much. The customers that pay $10K are going to expect a lot more, but you can deliver a lot more because you're making now $100,000 versus $10,000 total. You get it? 100 times 100 is 10,000. 10 times 10,000 is 100,000. So you're making 10 times more money. You can give 10 times more value. So look at the vicious cycle of price. We're going to get deeper into that in a second, but I just want you to think of that. I want you to think of that, and I want you to think of that deeply, because that is such an important part of life and business. There are 3 ways to grow a business. Okay, let's get into this. There are 3 ways to grow a business. Get more clients, get your clients to pay more, and get your clients to buy again and again and again. All right, 20 years ago, was it 20 years ago? It was a little more than 20 years. 25 years ago, I decided to get into web design. I decided to start designing websites for people. And I made a simple calculation. If I get 100 people to pay me $1,000, I'll make $100,000 a year, right? If I get 100 people to pay me $1,000 for a website, I can get 100 people. It's not so hard. I know 100 people that need a website. And so I started getting referrals, and I started closing deals, and I would make 100 websites. But no matter how hard I worked, I was always stuck at $100,000 a year. Do you know why I was stuck at $100,000 a year? Because I would just get clients at $1,000 a piece, and I would not be able to handle more than 100 clients, and I wouldn't get my clients to pay me more, and I wouldn't get my clients to buy again and again, and I was just stuck in the $100,000 level. That's where I was. You guys get that? Is anybody else there? Say I'm there in the chat. I'm just stuck right there. I'm just getting clients, I'm closing clients, but I'm not getting them to pay more, and I'm not getting them to buy again and again. Okay, so I got it. If you're there, you're there. That's where you are. Then all of a sudden, one day, I learned about the power of reoccurring revenue because my clients came to me and they said, Joe, you built a business, you built me a website. I love it, but nobody's here. And I said, didn't you tell me when you came to me that if you build it, they will come? You know the famous saying, if you build it, they will come. I'll build you a website, people will come, you'll get rich. I built it, nobody came. They're like, Joe, you got to get me clients. I started doing research. How do you get clients? I said, okay, the way you get clients is SEO. This is 20 years ago. SEO, search engine optimization. And so what I realized is, okay, well, I can do SEO, and SEO, instead of paying me $1,000 one time, you pay me $1,000 a month. And in my case, I was afraid to charge $1,000 a month, so I just charged $599 a month for articles, blogs, classified ads, directories. That's what was famous back in 2008. And as soon as I started asking people, are you interested in this? Everybody said yes. So I realized I was onto something. And then I started doing reoccurring revenue. And I would just charge $599. I wouldn't offer anything else. And all of a sudden, I got to $1 million in revenue. Wow. I got more clients and I got clients to pay me more. So now I have the same 100 clients, but instead of the same clients paying me, instead of the clients paying me $1,000 a year, I'm getting the clients to pay me more. Now I'm getting the clients to pay me $1,000 a month. So with 100 clients, it's $100,000 a month. That's $1.2 million in revenue. Do you guys get that? That's stage 2. But I wanted to get to 2 million now. I wanted to get to 2 million. I wanted to get to 3 million. I wanted to get to 4 million. I wanted to be on the fastest growing companies in America list, the Inc. 5000. How did I do that? I need to get clients to buy again and again. I offered PPC. I offered social media. I offered email marketing, and I got clients to buy again and again. So I got more clients. I got clients to pay me more, and I got clients to get me again and again. And we were number 178 on the Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing companies in America. You guys get that? That's how I did it. Simple as that. So you don't need 1 million clients. You just need the right clients. Because if you have the wrong clients, they're going to suck the life out of you. Turn customers into reoccurring revenue clients, and not all clients are created equal. Some clients you'll be able to upgrade, and some clients have no potential for you to upgrade. So focus on the types of clients that have the potential for you to get more clients of those, to get them to pay more, and to get clients to buy again and again. This is a huge, huge, huge lesson. Okay, give me a boom in the chat if you're getting value from this. I don't know if anybody's getting value from this. I'm getting value from sharing this with you guys because I know that some of you are going to be able to make a very nice living off the information I'm sharing. And some of you, some of this stuff is new to you. Some of this stuff is new to you, and some of this stuff is totally, totally just, oh, I know this already, Joe. Waste of time. So if you learned anything new, just write new in the chat, NEW in the chat. I'm curious to know how many of you learned something that was new today that you can take back into your business and hopefully apply it and maybe make an extra $10,000 this year. That would be epic. I would be so happy if you guys were like, wow. And for some of you, it's reminded, like Jonathan, he said, reminded. Amazing. Okay, so check this out. This is the vicious circle of price. I want to go deep into this. And I know we don't have a lot more time, and I want to get into Q&A. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I want to get into the vicious cycle of price. And by the way, before I get into the vicious cycle of price, I just want to quickly go back to the beginning because I promised you I would get through a bunch of things. We went through what is an offer. We went through value versus commodity. We went through defining lifetime value. We went through the 4 considerations to pick a good market. We went through the 3 levers of success. We went through 10x more riches in the niches, and I showed you that example with the time management course. We went through being the most expensive. We went through 3 ways to grow a business. We went through the vicious cycle of price. We went through value perception as reality. And now we're going to get into the value formula, dream plus likelihood equals time and effort. But I want to really go through the vicious cycle of price a little bit deeper, and that's why I created an extra slide about it so that you guys could really get it. Florian says, not new, but I needed to be reminded more and more. We need to be taught. Hello, Joe. This is a perfect opportunity to get your feedback on my offer. Today, I'm offering a free blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's keep moving. I want to get through this vicious cycle of price because I want you to really get this. I want you to get aha. I want everyone to get this aha moment over here related to this particular thing called the vicious cycle of price. If the value stays above the price, people buy over and over. If you can lower your price or increase your value, if your goal is to sell dollars at a discount, if you're increasing the quality of your prospects, you'll increase the quality of your product. So let's look at this vicious cycle of price and go deeper into this a little bit. So if your price is lower, if your price is lower, you're going to get a lower emotional investment from the client. You're going to get a lower decreased perceived value. You're going to get less results for your clients. You're going to get more demandingness from your clients the less you charge. People are going to be, oh, you charge me so much. You charge me so much. And meanwhile, you charge a guy 50 cents. Your revenue for fulfilling per customer will go down. Your business profit will go down. Your perceived value of yourself will go down because you're charging so little. Your perception of impact, your results will go down. Your service levels will go down. And then your sales team conviction will go down because they're not getting a lot of commission. So the lower you charge, the crappier your customers, the more you're going to be stuck in this vicious cycle of more demandingness, less results, less perceived value, less revenue for fulfillment, less profit, less service levels. You guys get that? It's like a vicious circle. It kind of just, you're stuck in that little wheel where you're kind of stuck. You're kind of stuck in there. But if on the other hand, you increase your prices, you get a higher emotional investment. You get higher perceived value. You get higher results for your customer because you can provide them with much more. You get a lower demandingness. The more I charge, I have clients that are paying me $16,000 a month right now. They never even call. They never even bother me. They're just happy. They're just happy to pay that $16,000 every single month. So happy. And then I have a client that pays $5,000 a month and he rips my hair out. He's like, what the hell? I'm paying you $5,000 a month. What the hell's wrong with you, dude? I spend so much money. I spend so much money on you. I spend a fortune. It's $5,000. Were you crazy? How much money I gave you? You guys get it? You guys get it? The less you charge, the more demandingness your clients are going to have, the less revenue you're going to have, the less profit you're going to have. But if you charge more, you're going to have more profit. You're going to feel good about yourself. When I had that client pay me MakerBot, that was the client. They were paying me $45,000 a month. You know how good I felt about myself? Do you know how much profit we made? Do you know what type of service levels we were able to give them? They were like, we feel like we're the only client. You know how happy the sales teams were that they now can sell things that are $45,000 a month? Think about that. Think about the value that you can provide to your clients, to your business, to your salespeople, to the market if you just had better pricing model. Now with Evie AI, you might be like, Joe, you're charging very little for Evie AI. Well, we're going to be coming out with a pro version soon. And the pro version is going to be $200 a month. So we're going to have the premium version and we're going to have the pro version. Premium will be $34 a month. And pro, we're going to be $200 a month. $200 a month. People would pay $200 a month. Yeah, people are going to pay $200 a month for their entire sales team to use Evie AI because of what we're going to be adding to it. We're going to be adding some incredible perceived value. Do you guys get that? Perception is reality. So as I'm going to make an offer that's so good that people are going to be like, damn, I'm going to pay $200 a month for that. And what happens if I get 10,000 people to pay $200 a month? Do the math. If I get 10,000 people to pay $200 a month, do the math. How much money is that? That's a lot of money. There's 1 billion people on LinkedIn. You guys get what I'm saying here? There's 1 billion people. I have 15,000 people using this app right now. There's 1 billion people on LinkedIn. So we're going to be able to upgrade those people. We're going to be able to upgrade the people that are currently paying 34 or paying 17 for the annual. And we're going to get them from premium to pro because we're going to build an offer so good, people are going to feel stupid saying no to that offer. That's the idea. Okay, that's the vicious circle of price. Now, value perception is reality because perception, the key is not so much your offer. The key is to give the perception of value because people buy based on perception. People buy not based on what you can give, but based on what they believe that you can give. The gap between what it costs and the value that it brings needs to be perceived as huge. Remember that 100x example? 100x. So if you pay $34 for Evie AI and you get $10,000 worth of value, that's massive, massive gap, right? Somebody actually closed a $10,000 deal because they used Evie AI and they left us a testimonial. Massive value for unlimited posts, unlimited comments, unlimited messages. Think about the gap between what it costs and the value that it brings. It needs to be huge. So in your business, is the gap between what you charge and the value that you bring big or small or could be bigger? Let me know in the chat. Alexander says, wow, Just had GPT create a list of who you know, questions using your template. Oh my God, light bulbs, Alexander said. William says, great info, Joe. Got to prep for a meeting. Guys, I really want you to think about this. The gap between what it costs and the value that it brings needs to be very big. It needs to be huge. Can you show people that what you're doing gives so much value that it blows their minds? That it blows their minds. That's the idea. I want you to blow people's minds. I want you to blow their minds. So let me show you this value formula right here because, what does value even mean? And this will be the last thing that I'm sharing right now because, again, I can get into the rest of the presentation and try to cram it in, but that's going to be too much TMI for you guys. And it's probably going to take away from like the first things that I taught you. And I want to get into Q&A. And I do need to go pick up my kids. Otherwise, I would spend like hours and hours and hours with you guys. But value formula. Dream plus likelihood minus time minus effort. What is the dream outcome for your client? Do you guys know the dream outcome of your client? What is the dream outcome of your client? What is a dream? Whenever I teach people to figure out their ideal target market, once they pick their ideal target market, I say go into ChatGPT, and I'll just quickly do this for you guys, just so that you learn something new as well and make it really easy for you. So you go to ChatGPT or you go to Claude, and you say something like, my target market for Evie AI is engaged LinkedIn users that are on the platform and want to post, engage, and message daily. They are professionals like consultants and agency owners and sales professionals that want more referrals and networking. Okay, so that's like, let's say that's my target market. And then I say, list out in a table that is numbered their dreams. Okay, I would start with their pains, goals, dreams, and fears. And make it have at least 10 of each, along with a rating along with how much you can measure each one, so we can determine which to use in our marketing in terms of value perception. Okay, so you guys see what I did there? I'm going to press enter. Your target market for Evie AI is engaged LinkedIn users that are on the platform that want to post, engage, and message daily. They're professionals like consultants and agency owners and sales professionals that want to get more referrals and network. List out a table that numbers their pains, goals, dreams, fears, and make it have at least 10 of each, along with how you can measure. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to Claude, and I'm going to say, make this prompt better. Okay, and you can use my prompt improver that I gave, but I'm just going to say happy to improve this prompt. Let's just see. Now let's create the table you requested. Do you guys see the way it's doing it? I made this prompt better, and then it goes ahead and creates this table. Okay, so now it breaks it down, the goals, the dreams, the fears, and measurability. Because the value perception needs to be there, but it needs to be measurable in order for the value perception to be there. You guys get that? So you do this for your target market, the pains, the goals, the dreams, the fears, and that'll help you. Each one of these can turn into a piece of marketing. We'll cover this more when we finish the whole book, but he definitely talks about doing this. But this is a really, really good exercise. And we could talk about the ones that are psychological versus the ones that are logical. And, we'll have to break this down even more. But I just want you guys to get the ideas behind how you can even decide what is value. So if you take a look at these, time consuming to create content daily, difficulty in finding their connections, low response rate from connection requests, inconsistent messaging across platforms, struggle to measure ROI from your LinkedIn efforts, difficulty in standing out from the crowd, limited reach beyond immediate network, overwhelming managing multiple social networks, inability to consistently engage with connections, lack of actionable insights from LinkedIn analytics. Do you guys see that? These are all pains that they have. If I go to their goals, they want to increase engagement on posts, create more quality leads, improve. If I just said, oh, use AI for LinkedIn, they're going to be like, what the hell? But if instead I come in with the goal that's measurable and I show them how it's tied to a revenue, and I go in and I say, okay, your dream outcome is to be a LinkedIn influencer. And if you start using heavy AI, you have a very, very, very high likelihood of becoming that LinkedIn influencer. Now the value goes through the roof. You guys get that? The value goes through the roof. Now, the concept of time delay is very important because time delay is how long will it take for you to get that result? The idea is you want to decrease the time delay and you want to decrease the effort. So when it comes to me showing people time delay and effort, I'm going to say break down all these in a table and tell me which ones have a high time to accomplish and which ones have a low time to accomplish, and also tell me which ones have a um, effort, high effort to get done versus a low effort to get done. Okay? And then let's just see what it does. It's breaking down them all of them and showing me which ones are high effort, high value, low value. When I read this book originally, I didn't have the ability to do this. Now I have the ability to do this because I have AI helping me be able to pick their goals, pains, dreams, fears with the item and then the time delay and the effort. So if you guys want to pick the best one, is you want low time to accomplish and then low effort and then high value. You guys get that? So very, very high likelihood that they're going to get to their goal with a very low time and a very low effort. And if you do that, it's basically like you're selling them Netflix. Think about Netflix. What's the dream likelihood of Netflix? Have unlimited access to unlimited movies, right? How long does it take for the movie to come to me? Instant. It's available on your TV right away, every show from every single everything, right? And how much effort does it take and how long does it take? No effort. You just talk to your remote control and it just pulls it up. So people are willing to pay a lot. Amazon Prime is a prime example. Very good, Jonathan. Same thing. And so people are willing to pay a premium for the services, even if they raise their prices. And a lot of people were complaining about Netflix raising their prices. Their stock still went up. The price went up. They lost subscribers, but you know what? People are still paying for it. There's still a business. It's still there. This is all based on the Alex Hermosi book, $100 million offers. Make me a comprehensive prompt for people to use in their niche related to this exercise. Let's just see what happens. Let's see the type of prompt. Wow. This is an epic prompt. This is an epic little framework with all the prompt. This is amazing. Look what we just built. We know because we're doing AI that this is a game changer. Putting this together is a game changer, just like that. Let's see what ChatGPT put together. How measurable it is. Here are the pains, the goals, the dreams, the fears. And then I can go to Perplexity, and then I can go to Grok, and then I can go to all the other ones. Share the prompt. I'm going to share all this. I don't think I can share all this like this, but I'm definitely going to post it in school. So if you go to school.com, I'll post it inside school after. I'll post the details, and I'll post all these things that I wrote over here. If you know anything about me, I love to share and I love to add value. So I'm 100% going to be sharing and adding tons of value. All right, guys. So back to this dream formula: dream plus likelihood minus time minus effort. So in the chat, tell me, what is the dream outcome for your ideal client? What is the dream outcome for your ideal client? For me, it's for someone to generate $100,000 from LinkedIn. Okay, somebody generates $100,000 over the course of the year from LinkedIn because of the activity they're doing on LinkedIn, which the work that they have to do on LinkedIn is spend 15 minutes a day. So that's how much time they have to spend posting, engaging, and messaging. That's what I want people to do on LinkedIn. Spend 15 minutes a day strategically posting, engaging on messaging. And if you do that, if you spend 15 minutes a day posting, engaging, and messaging on LinkedIn, you're going to get the results that you're looking for from LinkedIn. And if you do that correctly every single day, it's going to change your life. And so, how easy it is to comment on LinkedIn. Look how easy it is. You just push a button and you comment on LinkedIn, just like that. And so, that's my promise. That's my offer to the clients. If you spend 15 minutes a day posting, engaging, and messaging with the assistant, spending 15 minutes a day, taking the right activities, you're going to generate $100,000 in new business from LinkedIn. I can show you how to do that. I can guide you. I can support you. I can give you the tools for unlimited comments, unlimited posts in your voice without your worrying about things. So if you want to generate $100,000, if you want to get to 10,000 new followers, the likelihood is very, very, very high if you spend 15 minutes a day, very little time, and very little effort because you're using our AI. Do you get it? Now, it used to be that I would charge $10,000 for our course. And so that was a lot of money. And I would say you have to spend a lot more time, effort, and energy to be able to do LinkedIn. But now instead, I can charge you a couple dollars for an AI that will do it all for you, that will support you and be your assistant. You still have to log in and you still have to take some actions, but it's down to 15 minutes a day. And I'm charging so much less than $10,000. Okay. This is extremely, extremely powerful. All right. So let's go back just a little bit to the beginning, just to kind of show you what we covered. Okay. Let's just show you what we covered. So we talked about what is an offer. We talked about value pricing versus being a commodity. We talked about defining lifetime value of a customer and all the numbers, the difference between gross profit and net profit and LTV. We talked about the 4 considerations, how to pick a target market. What are the things to think about? We talked about the 3 levels of success, and I shared some stories related to my own business and my own experience in growing a multi-million-dollar business. We shared 100x more riches in the niches, and I gave you examples of how you can get so much more money by niching down. And then I shared about how being the most expensive is actually a competitive advantage compared to being the least expensive. I shared the 3 ways to grow a business. I shared the vicious cycle of price and how if you decrease your pricing, you're actually screwing yourself over. I shared how value perception is reality, and I shared the value formula of dream plus likelihood minus time minus effort. Now, we can get into this stuff here. I don't think we have time for this today because we need to get into Q&A. But in a future session, I would love to sit with you guys and share with you the difference between logical and psychological solutions, divergent thinking versus conversion thinking, problems versus solutions, product delivery cheat codes, stacking for value, trimming for profit, high value deliverables, and then scarcity, urgency, guarantee, and bonus, and naming in terms of enhancing your offer and taking your offer to the next level. But if you don't get your market right, if you don't pick your good target market, you're probably not going to be successful with your offer. Your offer is really tied to your target market. I want you to get that. I want you to get how deep your offer is tied to your target market. It's so deep that you cannot pick an offer until you have a target market. One of the things that he says in the book, I'm going to share my video now for a second for you guys. One of the things that he says in the book is that if you haven't tried 100 different offers to the same target market, and instead you keep switching target markets, you're not going to succeed. You got to nail a target market and keep finding ways that as long as it has the 4 things in it, 4 things that are so important in picking a target market: that they have the money, that they're growing, that they're easy to find, that there's a clear pain, right? If you have those 4 things, if you're not just trying different offers until you get a gram slam offer, then you haven't even tried. Instead of switching target markets constantly, pick a niche, a market, submarket, and niche, and then go deep into that and figure out every pain, goal, dream, fear that they have, and then figure out the ones you understand, like the psychology behind perception and the value. Like if you work with a customer, a specific type of customer, and you get to know their pain better than they know their pain, that's when they start paying you. If you understand your customer's pain better than they do, that's the type of advisor that I want to work with, that you want to work with. You want someone who's a true expert in your industry, that truly understands your pain, that truly understands your dreams, your goals, your fears, and can really speak to their solution that they're providing and give you the perception that they can actually help you. Can they help you or can they not help you? That's irrelevant. You might be like, what do you mean it's irrelevant? I need results. You never can get results right now. Results instantly, that never works. But the perception of results works. The perception of results works. Stain said, can we have a session for find your target market? Because you're right. So many automations we're doing can work for many, and we have to talk to the right audience. I'll give you an example. Somebody came to me and said, Joe, I'm doing automations where I'm doing blogs. I said, okay, doing blogs is worth $5. You're like, what do you mean? Yeah, making an automation for just doing blogs is worth $5. He's like, how do I increase the value of my automation for doing blogs? I said, very simple. Do blogs for a specific market. You want to do wealth, health, or relationships? He said, wealth. I want to help people make money. I said, okay, within wealth, what industry do you want to target? He said, I want to target real estate agents. Excellent. Excellent. Real estate agents. So if you did a blog for a real estate agent, now the blog is more valuable. Like, okay, why is it more valuable now? Because you have a specific library of 10,000 blogs and you're going to pick the best one for that agent for their market. And they're like, oh my God, that's really true. I can build a whole library of blogs with AI automatically for real estate agents. I said, but wait a minute. We can go into a sub-market. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, why don't we find real estate agents that are active on LinkedIn? Because most real estate agents are not. And real estate agents that are a specific demographic. Maybe it's a woman real estate agent that's active on LinkedIn, and they need content for both LinkedIn and their blog. And also, they're in California. And also, they work for eXp Realty. If you created a blog if you were the eXp vendor, and he's like, but who's part of eXp? I said, I don't know, maybe 100,000 brokers, 100,000 agents. I was like, that's more than enough. So if you picked women in California that are eXp agents and you offered them blog and LinkedIn, and you went to them and showed them that you understand the pains of an eXp realtor, now instead of charging $5 or $100, you can charge $1,000 for the same thing. And they're like, you're 100% right. Because now I can speak to their niche. I could speak to their target market. And so if you're creating automations, you got to pick your target. You got to pick your sub-market, and then you got to pick your niche inside that sub-market. And you got to nail it and make an offer that is so good. And then now they're like, hang on, but now I can do reels for them. Now I know the eXp brand. I have their style guide. I just downloaded their style guide. So now you can create assets for eXp and now offer only eXp, a YouTube channel, an Instagram channel. So now you can sell more to those clients, right? You can get more clients, sell more to those clients, and turn it into reoccurring revenue for those clients. And they're like, oh my God, this is crazy. Imagine I only offered things to eXp agents, and I was able to offer a full automation solution with a CRM that targets these agents, that speaks to them. And now you know where to find them. They're easy to find. Go to the eXp website. They're easy to find. Their email address and cell phone numbers. Call them. Say, hey, I work with eXp agents, and blah. Now your pitch is so targeted, so powerful. I was just talking to another eXp agent. We just automated their whole marketing system. Do you want to be able to have less pain? Do you want to be able to have more pleasure? Do you want to do it with none of your time? You don't have to waste any of your time because we know who you are. We just did an AI analysis. I can send it to you if you want to see it. No charge. The whole analysis was done. Now it's all about creating the automations. I have the automations set up. It's only $1,000 a month. You could fire your marketing person. It's all done for you already. And I'll monitor it myself, make sure it works every single day. And all your social media across all your platforms will work 100% of the time. And you get 10 of those clients. That's 100K right there. That's 100K a year in reoccurring revenue from 10 EXP out of 100,000 agents. Close 10. You'll need 1,000 to tell you no, but you'll close 10. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Put a $sign in the chat if I just gave you an idea that you think could make you money. I want to see how to make it rain. I want you to throw money at me like as if I'm dancing on stage. Go ahead. Somebody said, Jonathan said, if you go to 5 different directions at once, you'll get nowhere. Exactly. Imagine you want to hunt and you go to the forest to hunt. And all of a sudden you eat some mushrooms and you get carried away and you didn't bring the right tools. You brought a shovel and a shotgun and a flame blower. Is it a flamethrower or a flame blower? And you brought a bunch of different things. You even brought toothpicks and you brought everything. And then you look and all of a sudden you see a rabbit and you start chasing the rabbit. And then you see a buffalo and you start chasing the buffalo. And then you see a kangaroo because you're in Australia and you start chasing the kangaroo. And before you know it, you leave home hungry because you're not doing anything. But if you know you're coming in for buffalo, you know when the buffalo are going to drink water. You know where the buffalo hang out. You know what tools to use to rein in the buffalo. You know what the buffalo likes to eat. You know where the buffalo hang out. You know how to track buffalo. You don't care about the rabbit. You don't care about the kangaroo. You don't care about the mushrooms. You're there for the buffalo. When you're focused, where focus goes, energy flows. That's where I want you guys to know. And thank you for the dollar bills, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that. I appreciate the dollars. So questions, go ahead in the questions. Feel free to share any questions. Hard to hunt with a smartphone in the woods. Actually, it's really not hard to hunt with a smartphone in the woods because you can figure out a way to use your smartphone to help you find your ideal target client, even in the woods. I don't know how, but we can ask AI how to do that. There's a way to do it. Florian says, would you mind rolling my offer for a free community? Joe, roasting my offer. I don't mind roasting your offer. Does anybody have any specific questions? Let me look at your offer here. Wants me to roast. If anybody wants me to roast their offer, I'm happy to roast your offer as well. Okay, let me look at his offer real quick. It says, we don't just set outcomes, we track them. Self-optimization nation. So I don't know who you're targeting here. There's no clear call like to your target market. So I clicked on your link. I don't see a clear target market here. So I don't know who you're talking to. That's number one. You got to say who you're talking to. And then what value are you giving people? I don't see the value you're giving people. I don't see a specific metric related to the value. So right now, I just look at this. I have no idea what's going on here. I don't know what you're offering. I don't know who you're offering it to. It doesn't speak to me. So then boom, I'm gone. You guys get that? I don't know what the target market is. I don't know what the offer is. I don't know what value you offer. I don't know what I'm getting from this at all. So there's no way that I would ever want to join this group because I don't even know what self-optimization even means. Sane said, I was thinking to target a first SMB, but wondering, as they need to make money, do they have money to pay me? That's a great question, Sane. Do they have money to pay you? And the only way to know is to have conversations with them. And who the SMB is way too general. Guys, if you're targeting everybody, I was asking somebody, I said, who do you want to meet? He's like, I want to meet people. I said, go to Times Square. There's so many people there. He's like, but there's homeless there. I said, that's not a proper word. It's called people experiencing homelessness. If you want to be politically correct. I said, it's not called homeless. They're not homeless. They're people. They're regular people. They just happen to be experiencing homelessness. And what's wrong? He's like, yeah, the homeless. I said, stop. People experiencing homelessness don't have money. I said, first of all, how do you know they don't have money? Maybe they have a fetish to experience homelessness. Maybe it's an experiment and they're really a billionaire. We don't know. We got to speak to them and have a conversation with them and learn about them. But he's like, could you just get me real good people? I said, so be specific. Somebody said, I want to be a billionaire. So God put him in Colombia and made him a drug dealer. And everybody wanted to kill him. There's a movie about that. So you got to be specific. Don't just ask God to be a billionaire, but be specific with what you want to accomplish in life. The more specific you are, the more likely it is that you'll attract it. There's something called the RAS, the reticular activator system or something like that. Your brain looks for the things that you're looking for. So if you're looking for just SMBs, you're going to look for the bodega that makes no money. You want to look for a specific type of SMB that has money, maybe a funded startup. Pablo. Okay. Do you guys get what I'm saying? If you get it, just write got it in the chat. I'm curious to know. Josephine says, I want to teach meditation. Does it make money at all? Teaching meditation doesn't make money, but the results that people can't get from meditation might make money. Who do you want to teach meditation to? Again, it's not about what you want to do. It's about who you want to do it with. It's like it's such a big problem for like 99% of agency owners and professionals. If you can solve this problem, you will be so way, way, way ahead of most people. If you can solve this problem, focus on this problem, and really dig deep into who you want to target. This is such a big issue that people are just not willing to overcome this issue. But if you can have the courage, it does take courage to pigeonhole yourself. It takes courage to pick a target market. And by the way, pick it for 90 days, pick it for 6 months. Don't pick it for the rest of your life. You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. And you can pick your target market. So pick your target market. Teaching busy executives with little time. Okay, that's getting closer, but busy executives is not a target market. Do you get what I'm saying? Busy executives is not a niche. What you got to do is find a niche. The riches are in the niches. Again, pick a market, pick a sub-market, and then pick a niche in that sub-market. That's the easy way to do it. So if it's going to be wealth, health, relationships. So in your case for meditation, it might be health. Then you're going to pick a sub-market inside health. And then you're going to pick a niche inside that sub-market. And so teaching people how to meditate is very powerful, but who are you teaching how to meditate? If you are teaching a child how to meditate, it has X value. If you're teaching a busy mom how to meditate, it has Y value. If you're teaching a CEO of an Inc. 500 company, it has Z value. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to figure out who you want to teach how to meditate. And then there was a person that in my network reached out to me and said, Joe, I want to work with people to teach them how to have better intimacy. Now, if anybody here knows anything about intimacy, they know that intimacy is a challenge for a lot of people. 50% of people get divorced. And it usually has to do with the level of intimacy that they have. And she was calling it tantric activation. And I said, what are we doing here? That is not something that's going to go well on LinkedIn. She's like, you're right, Joe. I was actually banned from LinkedIn. So I started using Facebook and I got really low quality clients. And I said, can we please rename your company? Let's pick a target market. And she said, who's the target market? I said, CEOs of companies that are doing over $100 million a year in revenue that are in the United States. Can we pick that as your target market? And she's like, okay. How many companies are there? I don't know, a couple thousand. Fine. Let's pick that list. We found the list of the companies. We started targeting that list. We changed the name of her company. We changed her offer. And in the first 6 months, she generated $500,000. Her mind was blown. Directly from LinkedIn, her mind was blown. What changed? The target market changed. The offer changed. Where to find those people changed. What you say changed. It became CEO coaching instead of tantric activation. But what are you teaching the CEOs? You're teaching them tantric activation, but nobody knows that you're teaching them that because nobody wants to talk about that. No one's going to touch you with a 10-foot pole if you hit a CEO up and said, hey, would you like to learn how to do it? No way. No way. No one's going to touch that with it. But if you're an attractive person and you hit up a CEO and say, hey, listen, there's something very private I want to talk to you about that a lot of CEOs suffer from. And if you'd like to chat with me, and then you have that private conversation, it's called CEO coaching. If you want to perform better in the bedroom and in the boardroom, I'm happy to help you. And all of a sudden it turns into $100,000. Boom, per client. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Target market matters. Messaging matters. This is so powerful. Ralph said, love what you're teaching us today. I'm enjoying the example. Nails, my friend. Okay, nails are good. I mean, maybe you said nailed it. Thank you. So, for Alexander specifically, teaching busy executives or for saying like, if you want to teach meditation, you can teach meditation, but teaching meditation to a specific target market can either make it or break it for you. That's the idea. So, for example, if you said, okay, I'm going to teach CFOs how to meditate so that they can deal with their P&Ls, that's a whole nother ballgame than teaching, people who literally have no money, people that are hunting for a job, how to meditate so that they can find their job. You understand there's a difference? There are people that target job hunters. We had a guy that's making $1 million a year just dealing with job hunters, helping them with their resume. They're easy to find, right? Remember that guy that did a LinkedIn thing about job hunters? He targets the job hunters. I forgot his name, but he targets job hunters. Very specific. Targeting job hunters on LinkedIn is very good. You just put up a job description. They all come like flies to honey. Easy to find, easy to target, easy to sell to. Get them a job that pays $100,000 a year. All you have to do is pay you $100 a month for your school community. All of a sudden, boom, you get a bunch of them, right? But you have to be passionate about your market in order for you to want to pick a market. Sane says, I was thinking of targeting SMBs, but wondering if they make enough money and they won't pay me. You have to pick a very specific target. That's how you're going to be successful. SMBs do make money. A lot of SMBs make a lot of money. And even people don't make money, they have credit cards that they can spend with you. So you don't have to worry about how much money they're making. You have to worry about how much perception they have of what you're teaching them will help them get to their goal. So if you don't know what their goals and their dreams are, what their pains are, then you're not going to be able to help them. You need to figure out who they are in order for you to figure out their pains and their goals. Al says, how much value will they get from the investment? Exactly. If somebody spends $34 on EVAI and they could generate $10,000 in new revenue, wouldn't it be worth it for them to spend that $34 to be able to generate $10,000 in revenue? That's huge. Josie said, target market, older men at the end of their careers who don't have enough money to retire and are interested in learning about AI to make more money. They fear that they're going to be left behind, but they don't have a clear offer. That's awesome. I would change that target just a little bit more to, instead of older men, I would say people over 60, men over 60 that are coaches on LinkedIn. You see what I'm saying? I just kind of sharpened that just a little bit. Coaches on LinkedIn that maybe have less than 500 followers. You're like, whoa, coaches on LinkedIn that are over 60 that have less than 500 followers, chances are they're afraid of technology. They want to learn AI. They're already coaches. Maybe they're paying for LinkedIn. Maybe they have the gold icon. And now you've picked your very specific niche. Now you can go to all your friends and connections and say, hey, if you see a guy who has white hair or no hair, and they have a gold icon with less than 500 followers, and it says the word coach on his profile, I'd love an introduction. Do you see how niche down that became? And for that, you can charge $10,000 to help them be able to generate $100,000, to be able to generate $1 million. Don't be left behind. Let me help you generate $1 million or 10,000, and I'll charge you $1,000, and now I'll help you get $100,000. That's 100 times more than what you're paying me. You get what I'm saying? You want to charge 100 times less, and then you want it to cost you 100 times less than what you're charging too. So it'll cost you just, let's say, $10 for the automation and the credits. You'll charge 1,000, but you'll give them 100,000 worth of value. That's the idea. That's how you want to be, ideally, in the ideal world. Why coaches? Because they're tech phobic. I just picked it. Doesn't have to be coaches. It could be CFOs. It could be consultants. It could be entrepreneurs. It could be sales professionals. Whatever resonates with you. You know, sometimes I tell people, look at your own ancestors. Look at your own family. Look at your own history. What have you had experience with? What has the universe sent you into your life that will allow you to be able to help other people? So for me, I'm targeting entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, agency owners. Why? Because that's the world that I'm in. I know those people intimately well. So I'm talking to myself. A lot of the times you want to be selling to yourself or an older version of yourself. Think about that for a second. Who is an older version of yourself where you used to be there and now you got here and now you can help the older version of yourself get to the next level? I was talking to a dietitian recently who targets dietitians on Instagram. And I said, why don't you target registered dietitians on LinkedIn? She said, because there are none. And I said, really? There are no registered dietitians on LinkedIn? She's like, yeah, there are none. They all use Instagram. I was like, based on what research are you saying that? She's like, based on common sense. I said, common sense is not common practice. I said, can we do a search on LinkedIn to identify if you are correct with your hypothesis that you claim is a fact, or are you wrong? And she's like, absolutely. How do you do a search on LinkedIn? And I'm going to teach you guys real quick how to do this because a lot of you don't know how to do a search on LinkedIn. So if I go on LinkedIn right now and I want to do a search, I'm going to type in registered dietitian, registered dietitian, and I press enter and I just click people. The number of registered dietitians right now on LinkedIn is 84,000. And she dared to tell me that there are no registered dietitians on LinkedIn. I said, how dare you tell me there are no registered dietitians on LinkedIn when there are registered dietitians that are paying for LinkedIn and there's 84,000 of them. And she's like, Joe, you just blew my mind. I didn't think there were any registered dietitians on LinkedIn. And she already has her market, her sub market, and her niche. She just has to find where they are, and they are on LinkedIn. That's very powerful. If you knew exactly where your target market was and you knew how to find them, you know, what I love about LinkedIn is now I can contact Tara and I could know her first name, her last name, her company, where she works, where she worked before, every job she ever had, her education, her licenses, her skills, her recommendations, our mutual connections, what publications she published, what publications she learned, what languages she speaks, parlez-vous français, très bien, right? Who she's interested in, what company she's following, what group she's part of, what newsletter she's following. You see that? I can see all that information about this person. I could even get an introduction from one of my 23 mutual connections, and I can say, hey, how well do you know this person? Can you introduce me? That's powerful. That's very powerful. You don't have that in any other platform, and that's why I'm obsessed with LinkedIn. Very good. Al said site LinkedIn.com space dietitians with an @ sign. And that'll find you all their email addresses. You could do the same thing with Instagram, with Facebook, and so on. Good job, Al. All right. Any other questions that you guys have about anything? Or maybe what's one insight in the comments that you are going to take home? What's one insight that you're going to take home from this conversation that will allow you an action that you're going to take or an insight that you're going to take? What's one thing that you're going to take? Ralph says, I want to work with baby boomers that spend a lot of money on luxury travel and teach them how to use credit card points to pay for it. How would I niche down? Ooh, I love this question. Well, I wouldn't just pick any baby boomer. I would pick a specific type of baby boomer. I would ask Perplexity and Claude this question saying, I want to work with baby boomers that spend a lot of money on luxury travel. Can you help me pick a very specific target market? And if you copy this question and you literally just add that, should I show you guys how that works? I'll share with you guys my screen and just show you. So I'm going to go to Claude. I'm going to start a new conversation. And I'm going to say, please help me pick 10 target market options that are easy to find, have a ton of money, and is a market that is growing. Here is my criteria. All right, let's see what it does. Look at this. Second homeowners, cruise enthusiasts, golf travelers, wine and culinary tourists, wellness retreat seekers, cultural explorers, luxury adventurers. You see that? So you can go find all the people that are interested in wine tours or people that are interested in cruises or go hang out at cruises. You know, like these are the things that you would want to, like it really breaks it down for you. Can you give me 5 examples for targets that I can use search filters on LinkedIn to find my niche? Okay, so let's see. Retired executives. And it gives you the specific search filters. Affluent empty nesters, it gives you the specific search filters. Tells you what groups to find them in. The interests, you see that? It tells you exactly how to find them. What keywords you want to search for. So for example, you might want to search culinary explorer or wine connoisseur or cruise lover. I wonder how many people, world traveler. Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to search the word traveler, the word world traveler on LinkedIn. just to kind of see how many people are world travelers on LinkedIn. I'm going to remove this Tara person. I'm going to reset the whole thing. There's 100,000 people that have the word world traveler on LinkedIn. Just even that one suggestion for you is epic. That is an epic, 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 epic suggestion. Epic. Epic. And I didn't even come up with the idea. Guys, we're at time. I want to respect everybody's time. Thank you, Raif. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to paste everything into the school community, including the prompts, the replay, and everything else. And I appreciate you very much. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. My goal is to help more people. And the way that I help more people is by helping them use AI, specifically on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is, I'm just obsessed with it. I'm going to LinkedIn's headquarters in 2 weeks in Manhattan in the Empire State Building. They want me as an advisor because I know more than most LinkedIn employees about LinkedIn. So I'm going to go meet with them for me to become an official LinkedIn advisor. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk again soon. Boom.
Are you coming to California?
Yes, I'm coming to California. Just send me a WhatsApp if you want to meet with me.
Yeah. It's because it's very close to me, LinkedIn.
Oh, I'm going to go to LinkedIn in the Empire State Building. So, but I will be in California.
You mean in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. When you come to California, let me know.
Send me a WhatsApp. We'll be in touch.
Okay. All right. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Josephine. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Joe.